Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Let me adjust this and get this good. That's good, right? I usually like to set this thing up on something, but whatever. Whatever. Y'all can see my big ugly mug just fine. Anyway, what's good, everybody? Nice early morning for me. Nice early morning. I love this is one of the mornings that I love, man. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, hyped up, amped, ready to get the day going. Actually, you know what I should be doing? I really should be like doing some cardio this morning. That's what I should be doing. That's what I should be doing. There goes the new program that I'm setting in my mind. You know, I'm redoing the program, and now I got like a drill sergeant living in my head. Come on, don't be lazy. I should be out there running right now. That's what I should be doing. We'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. We'll get there one day when I wake up and start and I go straight into cardio, you know. No excuses. No excuses. We got to do something that sucks every single day. Oh man, I'm actually doing pretty good though, man. I'm doing pretty good though with my fitness, shredding all kinds of fat, man. Shredding all kinds of fat. And you know what I think's doing it? We got this what I've been doing for the past like 2 months now is I will run a mile before my workout. I'll run a whole mile before I even start working out, and then I'll do my workout, and he'll push me to my limit pretty much right away, pretty much right away. So it's not 5-10 minutes into the workout before like my body is already screaming, and I work out for a whole hour, and then I run another mile after I'm done. Shredding fat, man. Shredding that fat. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Let's see who we got in here. Is that Rachel? Is that how you say that? Or Rochelle? Loretta? Amber? Bobby? Lisa? Anita? Trace? What's up, y'all? Appreciate you for tuning in. Got up and it was just such a smooth night's sleep. Got up at 5 a.m. I'm like, man, I got to get on here and blab for a little bit. We had fun with this, don't we? I get on here and blab for a little bit. But as soon as I came on here, I started thinking, man, what I really need to be doing is going out and running every morning. That's what I really should be doing. That is so outside the norm of anything that I ever thought that I would be doing in my life. And that's the whole goal. And like yesterday evening at the gym, he had me doing football moves. Grabbed a football and had me like running and catching the ball and shit. And that may not sound weird to you all, but if you knew me, that is so out of the realm of anything. I hate football. I hate it, man. I can't. I hate that. I've never really been in. I was into sports when I was a little kid. Like I liked basketball when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, and then I kind of outgrew sports. I outgrew it. I didn't think that there was. I lost the interest in ball games. So anyway, I'm blabbing, dude. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I get plenty of rest. I get plenty of rest when my body calls for it. I listen to my body on that one. I listen to my body on that one. You know, and at the levels that we're hitting now, we're lifting heavier weight, doing higher intensity cardio. My body lets me know when it needs to rest. Oh yeah, it lets me know. I've gone through those periods of no rest. I've just been experimenting with my body and just to see, how it works, how to communicate with it and whatnot. And I've gone through those periods like a whole month with no rest. I've done that. And I'm learning how it's communicating with me. I can tell when it's saying, okay, we need to rest and rebuild. So anyway, anywho, can I talk about what? I don't know what you mean by that, Ghost Murphy. When manifestation comes, the anxiety of it. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. Anxiety of it? I don't know. For a little bit, when I very first stepped off onto my manifestation path, I started getting scared to manifest because the timelines that I was on, I was having to do quantum leaps in timelines in order to manifest things, and it would always come. My manifestation would always come to me in a very scary fucking way, like it would always have to be some kind of tower moment, if any, and that went on for about a year or two, about a year or two, you know, like any manifestation, in order for it to come to me, universe had to rip the rug out from under me and completely tear my life apart in order to give it to me. And there was a period of time where I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm fucking done with this now, And it doesn't really happen that way anymore. Not really. If that's what you mean, I'm really not sure what you mean. When shit starts shaking up, you just got to ride that wave. You just got to ride that wave. That's just what you got to do. I mean, I've talked a lot about part of developing a relationship with the universe is not letting fear in the driver's seat. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that you're not afraid. That's not what that means. What that means is you just let the universe do what it's got to do. It's going to be scary a lot of times. It's going to be scary. But after a while, once you really start to see that it's okay, you can take your hands off the wheel, and scary things might happen, but the universe got you. After a while, the fear will start to subside and the anxiety will start to subside. When that subconscious part of you that wants control, that subconscious part of you that wants control and it wants to run the whole show, and it wants to, whenever that part of you starts to see, okay, I don't have control, I don't need control, I can sit back and relax, and then that's when anxiety and fear starts to subside and go away. So that's a part of it. That's a part of it. Sometimes there is nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is not let that fear and anxiety in the driver's seat, and don't let it make decisions for you, which can be hard. I'm not here saying that's easy. That can be very difficult. You know what I mean? That's a part of it. That is a part of it. That's unfortunately a part of it. I went through that for a couple of years, but I didn't know. I wasn't aware that I was actually in the process of phasing my anxiety out. I wasn't aware of that. Now, like I've said this before in chats, now I'm not afraid of bad things happening. Not afraid of it. I don't live in fear that a bad thing is going to happen. And again, that doesn't mean that nothing bad is ever going to happen. That means I'm not afraid of it. I'm not scared of it. I'm not afraid, like, especially, and this is one thing that I do notice that a lot of people, especially who manifest financial success, they start getting afraid that they're going to lose everything. I'm like, why are you afraid of that? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? I'm not scared of that. I'm not afraid of that, of losing everything, I'm not afraid of that at all. Does that mean that it's never going to happen? Who knows? I don't know if it will or if it won't, but I'm not scared of it. If I was to end up back under a bridge, I would have a fucking awesome story to tell. I would have a badass story to tell. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. After a certain point, when you just start training yourself to not make decisions out of fear and anxiety, after a while, the anxiety goes away. Okay, the reason so many people are nervous and anxious, they don't realize, is because they make all of their decisions based on nervousness and anxiousness. And when the actions that you take are fueled by that energy, all you're going to do is manifest more things that complement that energy. You see what I'm saying? Make sense. Make sense. But anyway, anywho. Do what now? Starting over? Oh yeah. Yep. No, it's not that bad. Not really. The only thing, like for me, the biggest thing is not to get attached to people. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Not being attached to any person. That's the part that people struggle with the most, you know? Because once you step off onto any kind of manifestation path, what you're doing is you're changing frequencies. Okay. You're changing frequencies, and you have to learn straight up. Most people don't change frequencies. They just don't. Most people don't. Your average person gets on one frequency, it's comfortable, and they stay there their whole lives. Okay. So you're moving up through these frequencies. Okay. And the only way anybody can link up with you and connect with you is if they're on the same frequency as you. That's the only way. Okay. So as you're moving up through the different frequencies and through the different timelines, don't be holding on to hope that people are going to move with you, because they're not. They're not. You will notice separation. And I would have to say that that's probably, let me think. Yeah. If, as far as I can think right now off the top of my head, I would have to put that as the number one thing that holds people back from manifesting the life that they want, is clinging to people, clinging to people. Okay. Clinging to family, clinging to their friends, clinging to people. Okay. And whenever, like I said, you will this, and again, I'm not saying you have to go cut ties with everybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying go cut your family off. I'm not saying go cut your friends off. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as you start this process, you will notice the universe pulling you away from these people. Okay. I'm not saying that you go do it. You'll notice it happen by default, period. You'll notice it. You'll notice you and everybody who's a close part of your circle start drifting apart and drifting apart and drifting apart. And what most people do is they cling to those people. And that locks them back down onto that frequency, and they make no progress. Flushes their manifestation down the toilet. Because if you cling to a person, you're clinging to that frequency. And the life that you want is not on that frequency. See what I'm saying? So you're like a hot air balloon with a sandbag tied to it. You know? You got to cut that sandbag. You know? And then eventually, maybe one of these days we can reconnect with those people. Maybe. You know what I've noticed though? What I've noticed? You can't. You can't. I've even tried it. And check this out. Now, this has blown my mind. There's been some people on my path that have made their way into my life who have disappeared. Can't find them anywhere. Can't find them. Poof. Poof. Can't find them on Facebook. Can't find them on Google search. You know, like, what the hell? How did you disappear off the face of the earth? Poof. They're gone. Can't find any traces of them anywhere. Oh, yeah. Yep. But I have actually tried. There's been many times where I've tried to reconnect with somebody that I've come together with and separated from on my path. And you can't. Something will get in the way. Something will get in the way. The universe will block it. Universe will block it. If you're that vibrationally distant from somebody, the universe will block it. You cannot coexist in the same space, period. You know, you can't. But, maybe like I've reconciled with people on my path who have decided to change frequencies too, Makes sense? Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts, man. I've seen it happen. People who at one time were a very close personal part of my life, and then you keep raising frequencies and they don't, you will separate from them. Now I can't find them anywhere. Type their name into Google, can't find nothing. Type their name into Facebook, can't find nothing. Poof. It's like, were you just a little simulation? Were you just a little bot here simulating that experience with me while I was on that frequency? And now you're not part of this game and my experience anymore? It's a trip, man. It's a trip. It'll blow your mind. Yep. That's a rabbit hole. I don't know if I'm awake enough to go down that rabbit hole right now. I still got a few more sips of coffee. Still got a few more sips of coffee before I'm all the way awake for that. What happened to Naya? Well, they told me that Naya passed away, is what they told me. I got a random G-Man. Yeah, I ended up finding out it was G-Man that commented on one of my videos saying she passed away. So I don't know. I know she if that's true, she was probably, because she visits the other side all the time, you know. She was probably playing around on the other side and just said, "Man, fuck this. I don't even want to go back to Earth. Fuck that place. This game is getting too crazy and too stupid. Deuces, I'm out." You know. Or she could have just hyper jumped all the way to 5D. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But anyway, pulling your woman away of 12 years, yeah, it'll do that. Yep, it'll do that. Yep. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Mm-hmm. Yep. You got to think about it. You got to think. Whatever it is that you're wanting, the lifestyle that you're usually, most of us, when we say that we want to manifest something, I think it would be very safe to assume most of us want to manifest something big, right? Something big, huge, life changing. So that life that you want is out there. That big, huge manifestation is out there. It's out there in the quantum field, but it's going to demand a totally different version of you. Here's the funny thing. You know what you'll realize, if you see this path and you keep walking this path, you separate from your woman, you'll realize, you'll look back at the version of you now and you'll laugh. You'll giggle. I mean, not out of meanness or anything like that. You'll just laugh like, man, I have evolved so much. I don't even recognize the version of myself from back then, you know? Don't even recognize that version of me, you know? And then eventually, if you keep continuing up the mountain, up the mountain, up the mountain, up the mountain, and then it gets to the point to where you develop that relationship with yourself, you know, which most of us have been programmed to not have one of those. Most of us have been programmed to have a bad relationship with ourselves. But whenever you develop that relationship with yourself and you close that void in your own heart, the universe will bring you somebody who will change frequencies with you. Okay. But you need to get used to the path by yourself first. Universe will stick you on a path all by your fucking self until you close that void in your heart and you don't mind it. Okay. See what I'm saying? Any manifestation, it's not the thing that we want. Okay. Like with money, it's not money that you want. That's not what you want. It's not money that you want. What you want is a feeling, the feeling of freedom, the feeling of living life on your own terms, the feeling of relief from stress and debt, the feeling of not needing to worry about money. You have to match that frequency and walk that path first, and then the money will pour in that supports the frequency. Same thing with you're meeting your life partner, you know, attracting your person. It's not a relationship that you're looking for. That's not what it is that you're looking for. What you're looking for is a feeling. The feeling of not being lonely. That's what you're looking for. Just like money, there is no relationship that will produce that feeling for you, period. That's not the way it works. The relationships that we attract into our life are reflections of our current frequency. And if my current frequency is that of emptiness and loneliness, then I can only attract a person into my life that also vibrates at a frequency that resonates harmoniously with loneliness. That's the only way. You see what I'm saying? And then once that happens, emptiness and loneliness will manifest between me and that person. Same thing with money. There is no amount of money that's going to produce the feeling of freedom for you. Oh no. Oh fuck no. Hail to the no. One of the very first times I noticed this was when I was homeless. I was homeless, living in a homeless community of probably 50 to 100 other homeless people. And, you know, money or the lack thereof was not their problem. That was not no, that's not what a homeless person needs is money. I've met homeless people that make a shit ton of money. I've met homeless people who can stand in front of a store and panhandle and make more money than the manager running that store. Now tell me the money is what they need. They're not on a frequency of abundance. They're on the frequency of homelessness. They're on the frequency of poverty and being broke. That's the frequency that they're on. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, you probably saw me post that video about a week ago. There's this dude that I was homeless with. We lived in the woods together. And he posted a video on Facebook, boo-hooing. Look at poor me. Poor me. This is my tent that I live in. Boo-hoo me. This is how I eat. I dig bread out of the Jimmy John's dumpster. Boo-hoo me. Poor me. Remember, those of y'all, go to my Facebook page. I posted it. He still lives like that to this day. We were side by side right next to each other. We were right there on the exact same frequency, and I lived with him in the woods. I'm not going to drop his name, okay? And he never shows his face, but I posted that to make a point. That simply, like, when you're homeless, listen to that. Go look at my Facebook page and listen to that video. That is the definition of the failures mentality. That's the definition of the broke person's mentality, okay? The only difference between me and him is he never got off that frequency. I did. I woke up one day and I said, this is over. I'm done with this. I'm done. I got up and I started walking aimlessly. I had no fucking clue where I was going. I started asking people, do you know where there's a homeless shelter around here? You know where there's a rehab facility? And I just walked about 20, 30 miles that day and was guided to a homeless shelter and just worked my way up from there. See what I'm saying? So in the new world that we're moving into, simply giving people the things that they need who are without is not going to help them. We need, and again, we talk about this every chat, you have to want it. But for the people who actually want to get onto a frequency of abundance, you can't just give a homeless person money. If you just walk up to a homeless person and surprise him with $1 million, dude, he's going to be right fucking back under that bridge in a year or two. That $1 million is going to be gone. That's not going to fix his problem. We have to re-educate. We have to teach people how to reprogram themselves to be on the frequency of abundance. That's what we have to do. See what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot of people on that frequency, Mandy. A lot of them. I was at one point. I was. You bet your damn skippy ass I was. Let me tell you, before I went homeless, let me tell you how my brain worked, okay? I was working in Louisville, Kentucky. I worked for this company called Air to Ground Services, okay? And they're like, they have a contract with UPS Airlines because the UPS World Hub is right there in Louisville. And this company works for UPS Airlines cleaning the planes. This is the company that keeps all the UPS airplanes cleaned inside and out. And I was on that crew. I was on a crew of people who drove a de-ice truck. I would drive a de-ice truck up to their planes, and I had a harness on, and I would get out and clip my harness into the bucket. And I had a bucket full of wax and a big long pole with a mop head on the end of it. And I would go up and I would hang over top of these jet aircrafts and I would shine them and clean them. And when my kids were babies, that's how I supported them. That's what I did for a living. And every week I would get my paycheck. And the first thing that I would look at was the deductions. It's the first fucking thing that I would look at was how much I didn't make, how much they took from me. And I would spend that whole week bitching and complaining of how much they took from me. And that's all I would focus my mind on. That's all I would focus on is how much I wasn't making, how much they was taking for Social Security and taxes and all that bullshit. That's all I focused on. And then eventually it got to the point where my mindset was so negative, and all I did was complain and bitch and complain and bitch and complain and bitch and complain and bitch until the universe gave me something to complain and bitch about. And I lost that job. And that's when I went homeless and lived under a bridge. That's when it happened, man. But the cool thing about it is that by the time I spent, I don't know how many months, 4, 5, 6 months living under that bridge. And I lived in a tent in the woods for a little bit. And then when I got to my first homeless shelter, I felt like I hit the lottery, dude. I felt like I hit the lottery. Most people, I was blessed, man. That was a blessing for me to learn the true meaning of gratitude, to learn that you don't know what you have until you lose everything. You have no idea how much of a blessing it is just to have a shower until you lose everything. You have no idea what a blessing it is just to have a pillow, just to have this pillow and this couch right here. It's such a fucking blessing, dude. I would have given anything in the world for just a room with a couch with a pillow that I could sleep on. You know, and that's what all that taught me. So as I got into my first homeless shelter, I was like, thank you. Oh, this is such a blessing. You know, it was this big room with like 50 to 100 bunk beds, like 100 other dudes. You know, you had to shit and shower in front of everybody, all open toilets and open showers. And it stunk like sweaty fucking feet and butt crack. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a blessing. I felt like I hit the lottery. So the script done changed on me. Now I'm casting frequencies of gratitude. I'm casting frequencies of gratitude, you know? And then I went from the homeless shelter to a transitionary home, which was a little step up from the homeless shelter. You know, you had to pay rent to live there. They let you, you could go and sign a pledge, and you get a little room in this big house with a bunch of other people. And the pledge is that you have 14 days to find a job and start paying rent. You know, so I went straight down the street to the temp service, got hired at this concrete factory, making minimum wage, you know, working like 12, 14-hour days. And back then, I was making like $8 an hour. You know, oh man, I'm so blessed to have this job. So blessed to get a paycheck every week. You know what I mean? I'm casting frequencies of gratitude now. Now, everything that I have, I'm thankful for, period. You know? So I forgot what the landing point was. I was making a point there and then I lost it. You know how I do when I'm doing these chats in the morning. But yeah, I forgot. I was making a point and I lost it. Anywho. Alabama prison? What? Yeah. I guarantee you. Oh, okay. For DUIs. Yeah. Man, I'm so lucky to have never had a DUI. You have no idea how lucky I was, man. I have, man, I have driven way too drunk. Man, okay. I've always been such a functioning alcoholic, you know, functioning, cruising down the street with a bottle of vodka, a cop right behind me. And I'm so wasted. I got to close one eye so I can see the line, so I can drive a straight line. Cop right behind me, bottle of vodka right here. I'm driving, got my hand over my eye like this so that I can see the fucking street line. Never had a DUI, man. Never have. Nope. Oh, I'm glad those days are over. But anyway. Yeah. Complaining, man. We got to get off that frequency of complaining. And I got to do it too, man. Still to this day, I got to catch myself. Still to this day. Because I don't care what you have. This is another big lesson that I've learned on my path of just material abundance, since I've learned how to manifest financial abundance and material abundance. It doesn't matter. There's no thing that will fill that void in your heart. There's no amount of money that will fill this void in your heart. There's no big beautiful house. There is no brand new car. None of these things, so it's a daily. It becomes no different once you get that big, beautiful house and that brand new car. It becomes no different than that little apartment and that shitty little duty bean car you were driving. It feels exactly the same. It feels the same after a while. It feels exactly the same. I promise you, watch. I know there's at least one person watching this right now who's making minimum wage, who's living in a shitty little apartment, who has a crappy little car that they don't know if it's going to start when they go out this morning to get ready for work. They don't know where they're going to get gas to get back and forth to work for the rest of the week. I know there's at least one of you watching. I feel you. I've been there. And I know that you're eventually going to be living a life of abundance. Could be a year from now, 2 years from now. You're going to be making money that you never dreamed you could make. $30,000, $40,000 a month. Big balling, big dollars. You're going to be making as much, if not more, in a month than you make in a year now. And you're going to realize this feels the same. Feels exactly the same. Matter of fact, sometimes they can make things worse. It can make things worse. Because some of you will realize that Worrying about money is the least of your problems. Once that's taken care of, that'll awaken demons in you that you didn't even know existed. You didn't even know were down there. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yep. You gotta become the master of your own mind and the master of your own frequency. You know? Oh, yes, you do. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm not trying to discourage anybody. No, not at all. No. I'm just like, and I can't say that I wasn't warned. I can't say that I wasn't warned. But like I said, on my path, one of the biggest issues was the things that I had to learn on my path. It would have helped me more if it was explained more clearly. So I vowed to be that guy. You know what I mean? I vowed to be that guy who explains what it's like to be on this path in a way that's much, much easier to link up to and understand. Oh, forgot to put my bracelet on. I partnered with this company that makes these right here. I keep forgetting. I got a new little business venture. I partnered with these guys right here, and I'm going to be promoting this technology. This is frequency technology. There's a frequency in this right here. Tesla technology. See, in this right here, there's a frequency that's baked into this right here. And as soon as you put it on, it taps into the energetic grid of your body and puts a frequency in your body. And yep, I will be promoting this stuff. I like it. Anyway, I'm babbling. I'm rambling. It's from a company called Body Align. Body Align. So I got to dig into that. I forgot I partnered with them a couple of weeks ago, and I just haven't gotten around to promoting for them. Anyway, I'm rambling. List the tarot cards that I have. I don't know. I got a lot of fucking tarot cards. I probably own about 40 or 50 decks. I probably wouldn't really be able to list every one of them because they're fucking all over the place. But I prefer Rider-Waite, or anything that is Rider-Waite inspired. So the vast majority of my cards, like this one here, is one of my favorite decks, the original 1909. I love this one. It's got that old vintage feel to it. And the Radiant Rider-Waite is another. Like I'm just a Rider-Waite kind of person, big time. So most of my decks are either Rider-Waite or Rider-Waite inspired. Now this one here is another one, the New Palladini. The reason that I got this right here is because the very first tarot card reading that I ever watched on YouTube was done with this deck right here. Carol's Universe tarot card readings. Y'all know who she is, Carol's Universe. She's the English lady, real dark-skinned English lady. And her channel is the first channel that I ever watched of YouTube tarot card readers. And the first tarot card reading video that I ever watched, they had my jaw hanging on the floor. She was reading with this deck right here. And it's very Rider-Waite inspired too. But anyway, this is a good one. Marchetti Tarot. This is Ciro. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. Ciro Marchetti. One of the most famous designers of tarot card decks. This is the same person that designed the Tarot of Dreams, Gilded Tarot. Has a really cool Etsy store, and these decks are a little bit more expensive, but the cool thing about this, it's not in here. Oh, there it is. The cool thing about this is he sends an autographed copy of you know what I'm saying? I thought that was a super cool move. And I keep forgetting I have this. That's pretty cool. I should put this on my wall somewhere or something. Anyway. Anywho, yeah, if you can imagine any deck Rider-Waite or Rider-Waite inspired, that's what I read with. I just think it's easier, I think it's easier to connect with, easier to just, I like being able to, I don't like to spend a whole lot of time staring at the card. There's a lot of readers out there that they like to stare at the card and look at all the little details and all that. And every now and then I'll do that. I'm not saying that I never do, but I don't prefer to spend a shitload of time sitting and staring at the cards. With the Rider Waite, I like to be able to just glance at it and know what card it is. So it's easier for me to get the message through. Oh, this is a good one. Modern Spellcasters. This is a real good one. This is one of my favorites. I got this deck back when I very first started. This is it was in the group of the first tarot card decks that I ever bought. And I bought this very shortly after my channel took off. And I loved it, but what they made the card stock out of was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, the cards didn't last me a month before they completely tore up and it was impossible to shuffle them. So I was like, well, fuck, I'm never getting that deck again. And then I ended up a few months ago thinking, man, I remember that Modern Spellcasters deck was one of my favorite fucking decks, dude. Let me just look it up real quick. Let me look it up on Amazon and look at the reviews. And I saw where somebody experienced the same thing that I went through. They said, I bought this deck a few years ago and the card stock was horrible. The cards tore up in a matter of a couple of weeks, but now they've remade them and made them out of different card stock. And I was like, oh, really? Let me go ahead and get that then. And sure enough, they did. I think they got a lot of complaints of the card stock. So Modern Spellcasters, this is a badass one. Badass one. One of my favorites. Anyway, anywho, yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to sit and list all my tarot cards though. I got like 40 or 50 of them. Got like 40 or 50 of them. Yeah, I had long hair. Yeah. Yep, I had a undercut. I had an undercut. All this on top was long. About down to here. And I'd pull it up, I kind of miss it a little bit, but I don't know. I'm getting a little old. Getting a little too old to be, rocking them silly looks. Name of the pink gilded deck. It's this one. You talking about the one with the pink edges? It's this one. Marchetti Tarot. And you can only find, I don't think they have this one on Amazon. You got to go to Etsy. You got to go to this guy's actual Etsy store to get these right here. Pretty sure it's still on there. Let me see. Marchetti Tarot. Yeah, right here. You got to go to Etsy. You got to go to his actual Etsy store. He's got all kinds of badass decks, dude. Badass decks. It's the same person that makes the Kipper deck. The same person makes that Kipper deck. I'm not a big fan of that deck. I don't like the Kipper deck. It's too small and it's too hard to shuffle. But yeah, Encore Tarot. Man, that Etsy's the now these decks are a little bit expensive, but they're worth it. They're worth it, So anyway. Wait a minute, what? No, we ain't nobody copying nobody. Hate that stupid shit, man. Copying people. That shit's so retarded. We help each other. We help each other. You know what I mean? We help each other. I'm more than happy to help somebody. I'm not one of those people that's going to accuse you of copying me. No, I'm not one of those readers. There's enough of those out there, I will inspire you. I have no problem inspiring you, but we're all here to help each other, We're all here to help each other. I'll never, there are people out there that do copy me. I mean, but I don't call it copying. I'm not like, oh, you're copying me. I've seen it. No, I inspired you. You know what I mean? I inspired you. And if it works, sweet, good. That's my whole goal, is to help people awaken to their true power, to help people find success. You know what I mean? If you get an idea from me and it works for you, that's hell yeah. Keep going. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I don't play that copying. You know what I mean? I don't play that stupid game. Because if you're really going to genuinely be a genuine reader, you can't copy somebody else. You know what I mean? It won't, I mean, you can try, but it won't work. It won't work. Everybody is unique. Everybody has their own. Now, you could probably get some ideas from me. I've gotten lots of ideas from lots of different readers, and I'm very open about it. I'm very open about the readers that inspired me, you know? But yeah, I don't play, no, you're copying me. You know, you can't copy another reader. You can't. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Every individual is unique. Every individual is unique. You know what I mean? So, yeah. There's some readers out there that wish I copied them. There's some readers out there that wish I copied them. That would give their ego a boost if I did, you know. I would give their ego a boost. But you know, the funny thing is though, is that I've never ever heard the readers that actually inspired me, that I got most of my ideas from. I've never heard a word out of them. Never heard a peep out of them, you know. Never heard a peep from them. You know, like the reading with multiple decks, you know, multiple decks on my table. I got that idea from the Illust Illuminator. Mm-hmm. Yup. So I'm totally open with this. I got this idea from this reader and this idea from this reader, you know. So if you get ideas from me, hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Roll with it. Roll with it. And there's only a certain number of tarot decks out there anyway, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure the vast majority of us readers have all read with some of the same decks anyways. You know what I mean? So, hell yeah, man. And but that's just me. Those are my favorites. Those are my favorite decks. Anything Rider-Waite or Rider-Waite inspired. And I have been dabbling with the Oracle. I've been dabbling with Oracle, you know. And I haven't been doing that with my bonus readings. I know. I forgot. I forgot. I realized, oh, damn, man, I didn't do anything with the Oracle. But so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, I think. And I kind of want to make that more of a habit. I've been reading with this one a lot, the Sacred Spirit. This is what I do, like general advice with. And we've talked about this one here, Divination of the Ancients. I'm not really vibing with this as much anymore. But, oh yeah, here's a good one. Everyday Witch. Everyday Witch. This one it's not as Rider-Waite-y as a lot of my other decks. But this one here, if I was to say that I had a deck that is the furthest from Rider-Waite that I like, it would be this one, Everyday Witch. I love this one. Love it. It's a weird deck, but for some reason I vibe with it. I'm gonna get some incense going, y'all. Hold up. Oh. All right. This is my Om incense. Om. Oh. There we go. Okie dokie. Anywho. A deck I don't own. I don't. If there's a deck that I want to purchase, I just purchase it. If I see it and I like it, I'll just go buy it. So I can't think of a deck that I don't own that I want. You know, because every now and then I'll get bored and I'll go to Amazon and type in tarot cards and I'll just scroll, you know. And actually, most of the time, it's usually a different rendition of the Rider-Waite. Like just the other night, I saw one on here, and it's just a Rider-Waite, But the thing that I think is cool about it, hold up. The thing that I think is cool about it is the border. It's got like a black border around the cards. That's the latest one that I bought. See, it's got a cool design on the back, and there's a black border around it. But yeah, no, if I see a deck that I like, I don't sit around and say, I want to buy that. I'll just buy it. I'll just buy it, man. And it serves a lot of cool purposes too. Like for me, like I'll pull a spread and it'll say one thing. And then if you notice when I'm doing readings, I'll put that deck aside and grab a totally different deck. You know, that's what I do in my personal readings too. If you ask me a question and I pull a spread and it just kind of feels like there might be more to the story or it didn't really dig as deep as I want it, I'll put that deck aside and grab a totally different deck. And sometimes, actually most of the time, probably 80% of the time, the exact same message comes out. And then even all right, let me put this aside, grab a different deck. I never pull two spreads in a row from the same deck. So that's another way that I think is really, at least with my style, the way that I read, my style, it really, because I'm kind of a chaos reader. That's what I call it. I call it like chaos because I don't, and I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do this, but I keep being lazy and procrastinating. I don't have one of those spreads that's like, okay, this card means this, and this card means this, and this card means this. Not really. Not really. Like I'll just lay the spread out and I'll just scan the spread, and the cards that jump out at me first are the ones that I talk about first, regardless of where they are, what position they're in. You know what I mean? And then it's kind of chaos. There's not really a order. It's just that's where my intuition comes in when I read, you know? So I've been wanting to learn these different spreads. You know what I mean? Every now and then you'll get a deck that comes with like a big old folded up piece of paper that has a certain spread, you know, and I forget the names, Celtic Cross and fucking, there's like 2 or 3 different, you know what I mean? And that's what Carol's Universe would do. The very first tarot readings that I ever watched, she would always do the Celtic Cross. And, you know, I've just never really been into that, but I always want to try it, but I've been lazy. I've been being lazy as hell, man. But anyway. Do 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 do. Hey, we ain't gonna have no arguing in here in the chats. We don't come here to argue. We don't come here to argue. I don't care who you are. If you don't like what's going on here, click off the video. Deuces. Bye. If you don't like what's going on here, deuces. Leave. Go find something that you like. I'll just block you. I'll just block you. I don't even deal with it. I'm not even going to feed you any energy. I'll just block you. So anyway, usually I don't even give people warnings either. That's the only warning. See any bitching, complaining, I'm just going to block you. Deuces. Bye. No negative vibes. Good vibes only. Good vibes in the air. Get some sage in the air. Speaking of sage, let's get some sage in the air and burn it like you just don't care. Boom, 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 boom. All right. It's getting about that time for me to go wake up the kiddos. I'll still stick around for a few more minutes. Anyway, though, I got a bunch of personal readings to do here later, too. Bunch of personal readings. A big old wave came in. My job is very unpredictable. Very unpredictable. You never really know if it's going to be a slow, smooth week. You know, you never know if it's going to be slow and smooth or if I'm going to get hit with a tidal wave. I got hit with a pretty heavy tidal wave. So as soon as I get off here, I got to get straight to reading. Anyway, there we go. Good vibes only. Good vibes only. Anyhow. So what y'all up to, man? Yep. How long did I practice? Oh, I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel confident. I was reading on YouTube for a good 6 months before I felt confident. Yeah. That's another big thing about the manifestation path. You don't want to sit and wait for the right moment because it's never going to feel right. You just got to start doing it. You got to start doing it. You got to pick a path and start walking. You got to start walking that path, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And you just got to walk that path until it becomes part of your comfort zone. I didn't feel confident when I first started at all. At all. Oh no. If you go back at the beginning of my channel and look. Go back to the beginning of my channel and look. Every now and then I'll see in the comment sections, oh, you used to be so humble. No, I was scared. I wasn't confident. I had no confidence. You know what I mean? You used to be so humble. No, that's not. That's not me being humble. That was me being scared shitless. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to read these damn things. I've been practicing for probably, maybe 3 or 4 months, maybe not even a full year. I don't know exactly how many months, but not even a full year, dude. Not even a full year. I've been practicing, and and I was just like, man, let me just go ahead and try this little YouTube shit. Not even thinking that it was gonna go anywhere. I didn't think my channel was gonna, my goal. I said to myself, hopefully, I can have like 50,000 subscribers in like 2 years. You know what I mean? And I had 50,000 in 2 months. So no, I wasn't confident at all. I wasn't confident at all. I just thought it was going to be a slow rolling ball. You know what I mean? Thought it would be a slow rolling ball. Like I didn't have a clue that it was going to pop off and take off that fast. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, like it caught the eyes of a lot of other people who had big names on the internet, you know, Instagram celebrities and shit like that. I don't know how everybody just started shouting my fucking channel out. And I'm like, no, what? No, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I thought I was going to have to gain my confidence first before my channel started growing. It didn't happen that way. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you, and I got to get out of here in just a minute, but I'll tell you what made me confident. Okay. It got to the point where I was doing little live mini readings live on Facebook. Okay. Like you would send a PayPal of like $10 or something like that to my PayPal with a question in the notes. And it was live in front of everybody. And how did it go? This lady said, "Can you tell me about the puppy that I'm getting?" Or something like that. "Can you tell me how the new puppy is going to be?" And I'm flipping and I lay the spread out and it has 5 of pentacles, 5 of wands, 7 of wands. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, whoa, this is going to be a tough puppy. Was this puppy abused or abandoned or something like that? And then I thought to myself, wait a minute. This is a puppy. This is a puppy. This is a brand new little baby puppy. This it hasn't had time to be abandoned or abused. You just made yourself look so stupid live. And I'm like pouring sweat. And I look up and she said, "Wow, that's so accurate. It was abandoned and left on the side of the road," or something like that. And I'm like, oh shit. And then from that moment forward, I was like, okay, maybe I do know what I'm doing a little bit more than I thought, you know? But when I very first started, I was just playing. I didn't think I knew what the hell I was doing. I thought, man, you got to be born with some kind of special gift, or you got to practice this for 10, 20 years or something like that. That's what I always thought. I didn't think I knew what the hell I was doing until, like I said, I started getting a lot of positive feedback from people with personal readings, about how accurate it was. And that's when I started to feel like, okay, maybe I know what I'm doing a little bit better than I thought. You know what I mean? And then that's when, and that was, let's see, about 6 months into my tarot career, my YouTube career, when I started feeling like, okay, and started getting comfortable with it and more, to where I at least felt confident, doing it. But anyway, now I've been doing it so much for 3 years. I'm on my 3rd year now, and I can't really right now picture myself doing anything else because it's all I do all day, every day. You know what I mean? So anyway, though, it is about time for me to hop on out of here. Greatly appreciate all of you for tuning in and listening to me blab and run my mouth. Time for me to go wake up the kiddos and maybe grab a bite to eat. But I will see you all, and I got to get my personal readings done. So I don't know when I'll be on my main channel. I want to get my personal readings done first, and then I'll finish it. I'd like to be able to finish up the bonuses, but anyway, I'll see y'all later. You all enjoy the rest of your day.